are such an asshole.
Hello. I don't know if this is real or not. It sounds like Dear Penthouse Forum or an E-Gene. I'm gonna call it the moneyest. I don't think half those stories are true. I'll be perfectly honest. I'd be very curious if they were. But I'm fully admitting right now this could be complete BS. But they paid $100. Okay. So if you want, I mean, this could be very real, in which case I could understand paying the money and you really want some kind of help, or okay, we'll help you out if it's legit, but okay, you just paid for a very expensive trolling job. I'll play along. Please keep me anonymous. I'm a 36-year-old white male living in a place. My wife and I have been married for a certain amount of time, and we've recently been exploring our sexuality more. A few years ago, my wife and I decided to try cuckolding. That's great. I remember when threesomes were risque. Remember that? That was edgy. That was crazy. Our sex life has gotten pretty stale, and we wanted to spice things up. I figured that if we were going through with this, I might as well have some fun myself, explore those cuckold fantasies I've had since I was a teenager. Look, dude, maybe you're gay. Maybe you're bi. Nothing wrong with that. I don't, you know what I mean to do. I can't help you. Your sexuality is your sexuality. Go talk to a therapist. Go maybe find a support group. Find out. About a year ago, we met this black man on Plenty of Fish. We'll just call him Jerome. How original. It started out pretty typical. Jerome would come over every Saturday and fuck my wife in our bed while I sat in a chair and played with my pee-pee. See, I got the $100. What do I care? It really hurt watching my wife have sex with another man, but it was deeply arousing at the same time. After a few sessions, we decided to push the envelope. I would sit next to my wife and hold her hand while Jerome fucked her and made her squeal. Around this time, I began frequenting cuckold/hot wife message boards and learning more about the lifestyle. What more is there to learn about it? I think you just kind of did it, didn't you? That's like going to the Grand Canyon and then reading a book about it. I found out that there are different levels to cuckolding, the highest level being raising your bull's offspring. Well, if there's different levels, we can't possibly refuse the levels. It must be true. It was fucked up, but that's what turned me on about it. All right. Hey, if you're turned on, you're having fun. What do I go? Your life. Kid might be a little fucked up, but at this point in my life, cuckolding had become my drug. It was my break from the boring, mundane life I led 6 days a week. Just me. Somewhere in the realm, in the spectrum of playing Boggle when you get home and having another man impregnate your wife, it would seem to me to be a lot of gray area in there, a lot of options, many choices, the menu would be very long on other ways to get your kink. Like, did you guys maybe think about just working out and getting physically hotter for each other? Or maybe she puts on the lingerie. There were a lot of steps you could have taken that maybe would have achieved, ending the mendacity of your relationship instead of going, let's go get my wife impregnated by another man. Again, I don't know if it's real or he paid. But after talking about, my wife and I decided that she should go off birth control and risk being impregnated by Jerome. About a month later, we found out she was pregnant. We were both very excited about the pregnancy. So far, very libertarian of me. So far, as long as you guys are happy, what do I care? Kids could be screwed up, but who cares about the kid? But where do we go? We are both very excited about the pregnancy, but a bit concerned about the challenges it may bring. During this time period, she was still fucking Jerome. We told him she was pregnant with his child, and he didn't seem to care. After their sessions, my wife and I would cuddle in bed, and I would look her pregnant belly and say, I'm going to support this little bleeper. Maybe. I made the money. Claire, are you a whore? Yes, I am. A very well-financed whore. Yes, I am going to buy a lot of Pokeball with this today, my good sir. Yes, lots of Pokeball. Now she's 8 months pregnant, and I'm afraid we've made a terrible mistake. Oh, you followed your heart. What could possibly go wrong? Jerome has gone ghost and won't return our calls. Really? Well, my wife and I are concerned about raising our mixed race son. It's going to be confusing for him being raised by 2 white parents and likely being the only black kid in his school. There's not one other black kid or at least mixed race kid in an entire school. Where are you? I feel really guilty about letting my wife get impregnated by a black guy just to fulfill my 6 sexual fantasies. It's way too late for an abortion, and she doesn't want to put him up for adoption. Well, wait. I thought abortion could go even up to partial birth in some states. I guess it's not too late for an abortion. And she doesn't want to put him up for adoption. I'm at my wit's end and I feel like the biggest piece of shit in the world. What should we do in this disaster of a situation? Well, you get a lawyer? I don't know. Look, I mean, if we're going to play it by logic and morals, you're the one that got into this mess. Your wife was like, okay with it. I don't know what you can do. It's going to be ultimately up to her. Technically, she has all the legal power. She could carry the kid to term. Or she could abort it. It's up to her. It's not up to you. But in terms of you and what you can do, you could certainly figure out what you want. You sound, if this is real, you sound like someone that just be pushed over and be told what to do and what to like. For once, why don't you figure out what you want? Do you not want to raise the kid? Then talk to your wife about having an abortion. Do you want to give the kid up for adoption? Talk to your wife about giving it up for adoption. You're all excited about raising the kid. What happened to that? So, I mean, but perfectly honest, I think it's kind of out of your control. I think that's the number one thing to realize is it's up to her and the law. Pretty much, I don't know where you are. I mean, you may not even be in the United States. I don't know. It's up to your wife and the law, whatever rights it grants your wife as to whether or not to have the kid or not. And the kid will be born or not. And if the kid is born, I guess you got to raise your kid or raise that kid or stick around. You agreed to that. Those are the terms. This is what you wanted. You told the woman this is what you wanted. Now you have it. Now you can't just, I don't want this. Take it back. It's not a car. So you're going to have to talk to your wife. Do you want to put up for adoption? Do you want to abort it? These are not my questions. These are your questions. I think you got into this problem. You never asked what you wanted, really. Or you never thought it through. So I can't tell you what to do in this situation. I absolutely can't. I can tell you need to figure that out yourself. What do you want? Go talk to your wife. You two are the 2 players in this. Don't be surprised if Jerome might have a say, because that's his kid too. Legally, he might have some. This is why I say you got to contact a lawyer. I don't know, or a paternity lawyer, if there's such a thing. I have no idea. You're asking me whether you should kill a child or put it up for adoption or raise a child that isn't yours. Do I look like Solomon? You need to sit down for the first time in your life and figure out what you want. And then you need to also accept the fact that you may not get what you want. And you might also want to talk to your wife to find out what she wants. But as far as I'm like in relative morality, you should pretty much raise that kid because that's what you wanted. And this, like, again, it's not a car, it's a kid, you know, and I am pro-choice. You guys have all the right to, but the reason I'm for that is because I'll never have to face that choice. Like, you go ahead. You want to murder a baby, go right ahead. I don't care. It's not my choice. Thank you. You want the right. You have all the right and responsibility you're unaware of. So I can be very flippant about it. But these are big, heavy issues. I can't make the decision for you. You have to make that decision. The way you're going to get to that decision is first asking what you want, not what other people tell you. Or I'm trying to figure out how, as a teenager, you figured that this is something that you'd want. That gene should be like totally expunged from society because you won't be reproducing. But you're also gonna have to talk to your wife. So find out what you want. Talk to your wife. And then it should feel, and by the way, no matter what the outcome, prepare to embrace the suck. Just prepare to embrace the suck. It's going to suck that much. I don't know what the outcome's going to be or what you're going to inevitably decide, but it's going to suck. There you go. I bet you everyone thinks this is a troll. Nonstop. It might be. It might be. I don't know. I got $100 for it. What do I care? Oh, how much did the troll pay? $100. I got it. I checked it on PayPal. He dropped $100 on this. I'm like, all right. Okay. Yeah, it's right. There's the $100. He did. You guys all want to pay me $100 to read your Dear Penthouse Forum post? Please do. God almighty, my dad, he's been tuning in. I wonder if he's watching this one. He's like, what the hell is my son into now? Sam Whiskey, $5. I guess the pull-out method didn't work. Name the kid Webster. Good 80s reference. I don't think anyone's going to get it. It wasn't a bad show. I like watching Webster when I was that and Punky Brewster. Because women never starred in anything. We never had girls star in anything. It was just all men all the time. Different Strokes. That was a big popular show in my day, too. Another mixed race TV show. What you talk about, Willis? All right, that's it. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.